Welcome, and thanks for joining us on Dergosits Debates. I'm your host, Garrett Boardman. On today's show, we are debating if children should be allowed to drive tractors. Let's meet our two debaters. On my left, stating that kids should be allowed to drive tractors, is Ben.
Hi, Garrett. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Ben. On my right is Skylar, who believes that kids shouldn't be allowed to drive tractors.
Good morning, Garrett. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for joining us, Skylar. Well, let's not wait any longer to debate this hot topic. Skylar, why don't you go first? I have always been a fan of ladies first. Mr. D made me say that.
Thanks, Garrett. You're such a gentleman. I think that kids should not be allowed to drive tractors because they could fall off, get hurt, and get very injured. They could break their arm, leg, and maybe neck. Sometimes they can get caught in something and get very hurt. Talia says that it's not safe for kids to drive tractors. Sometimes kids don't know how to drive one, and if they do it for the first time, they can run into something. They could get very hurt, maybe by somebody could run. Maybe they could run into a tree or a rock. So that's why I say no.
Very good point, Skylar. Now let's hear what Ben has to say. Ben?
Thanks, Garrett. Those are so really great points, Skylar. But I have to disagree with you. Knowing how to drive tractors prepares kids for the future. Kids should learn new things. Also, what if the kid owns a farm when he or she is older? Adults could watch them. Even though they go a little fast, they would go a certain limit. Most kids are responsible enough to handle them, right? Younger kids could also drive with older siblings. Kids should know how to drive tractors because what happens if a person who operates them gets hurt? Grant, a fourth grader, says his part. Kids should be able to drive tractors when you work on a farm. If kids follow certain rules, they will avoid injuries.
Thanks, Ben. It sounds like we have two really good points of view. What do you think? Share your opinion of this hot topic in comments below. Next week, we will be debating if cell phones should be allowed in schools. See you next time on Dergosits Debates.